everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping for plenty of touches to come their way. It's the Dolphins going up against the Colts. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with Ryan Tannehill and the visiting Miami Dolphins. Hi again, folks. I'm Brandon Gotton. Welcome to the NFL on EA. Here's Charles Davis. And as we all know, Charles, offenses today, they're driven by the passing attack. But Larry highlighted in the open a couple of running backs who might just disagree with that assessment.
Yeah, and sometimes, occasionally you get a game where running backs will match each other, kind of carry for carry on opposite teams. But for the most part, they focus on themselves. How many touches will they get, and can they create big plays for their own team?
And both of these guys, certainly more than 5-10 touchbacks. They're workhorses. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of 25 at the 24-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I love everything about Andrew Luck's game, but I also love his worldliness. Some of his formative years were spent growing up outside of the United States, and I think that that's helped him when he came back because now he's seen the world, and I think that helped him mature a little bit as well.
On first down, Luck drops it underneath to Gore, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
On second down, here's Luck. And he's got some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. Here's the first carry now for Frank Gore. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Second down following the run. On the draw, Luck gives to Gore. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll try the air now with Luck. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Throwing is Luck. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Here's Mack on the toss. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
As we shine the spotlight on T.J. McDonald, I see him as a prototypical old-school strong safety. In the box, run enforcer, doesn't play as well in coverage, although he can do it at times, but at his best against the run game.
Here's Luck. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. They'll fake it. Now Luck. And he's got room. He's got the first down inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. From the gun, here's Luck. His pass caught at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They'll try and push it in with Gore. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now Luck. And that is incomplete. Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them,
They're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return will come from Sonoris Perry. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas A&M, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
And many believe that Ryan Tannehill is ready to fulfill his promise. Been in the league a little while now, been through some ups and downs, some bumps and bruises, but the talent is evident. Can run it, can throw it, and I think now he's ready to be a great leader.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
In my humble opinion, Jarvis Landry has everything you want in a wide receiver. Hands, vision, footwork, good route runner, goes up and gets the football. And when people question his speed or so-called lack thereof, you know how he answers it? Try and tackle me after I catch it. He turns into a running back once he has the ball in his hands.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Jonathan Bostic. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. Chester Rogers deep for Indianapolis. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. On first down, it's Locke. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rodgers. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Luck gives to his running back, Gore. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an all-pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
And just think about all the pass-rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
Here's Luck now on second down. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A very solid gain of 27.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, Locke. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. A run right side. It's Gore. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front, creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on third down. Back to throw. Love. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 8 yards on the screen there. Not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They go play action here on first down. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jonathan Bostic coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Third and long, it's Tannehill. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. On 1st and 10, Locke. They find some open field here. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Second down, this is Gore. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. And sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Gore again here on first down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Now a handoff for Gore. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On the handoff, it's Gore. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Now a carry from Mack. And he spins through. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Play action. It's locked. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Here's Matt. And oh, he coughed it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
On first down, Drake. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down and just one. They stay on the ground with Drake. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third down.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 6-0 is our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Drake off the give from Tannehill. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Maybe a little sign of life here offensively, Charles. They get their first down. They didn't have any in quarter number 1.
And I think what we're seeing is great evidence of good scouting by both teams, right? Understanding what they like to do, their best plays, try and take those away early. So now we're seeing some adjustments, and they end up getting their first down.
They'll run with Drake. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Second down following the incompletion. They go option right on 2nd and goal. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Tannehill. This will be caught at about the 5. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost, but this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it to Hilton, and he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They run. It's Gore. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Another carry now for Gore. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. This one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times, just like the ticking time bomb, the longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Right back to Drake. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now it's Gore. Room here to run. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Luck on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Now it's Luck. A dump off here for Gore. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got Rodgers. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
On 1st and goal, Gore. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Frank Gore taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts add on to their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. And the lead is now 13. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Frank Gore touchdown run. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a third down. The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jonathan Bostic in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And our focus now shifts to Frank Gore. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Play fake to Gore. It's Locke. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Andre Branch able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
And Luck hands this one off to Gore. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Down, it's Gore. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. It's Williams on the catch. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 2, Luck. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. From the left hash, this from 50. 3 yards out. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will swell the lead to 16. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off play action, Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. A good pickup there, a 22. Tannehill hands to Drake. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right at the 45. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game, the effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he finds Stills, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. They'll set up the screen to Drake. Breaks through the contact and give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Third down now following the completed pass. To the air again, Tannehill. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Tannehill on first down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Throwing again is Tannehill. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Devontae Parker from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And the lead cut down to 9. That time a 9-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again. Then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Colts are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Dolphins didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. 1st and 10. Bostic's going to get the quarterback here. This ends up as a loss of 7. Third down from the 48. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 2-yard line. Continuing on the drive, Gore is going to look for space, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. Lead now goes to 13. Just about out of time in the first half. Tannehill's got the completion out of the gun, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown.
All right, Larry, these 2 teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Tannehill with a hook up to Thomas for a Dolphin first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a handoff for Drake. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Now on first down, Drake again. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
On the give, this is Drake. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
following the penalty. It's Gore. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Here's Luck. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. A good pickup there of 22. Now a first down throw. Luck over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And this carry number 20 for Frank Gore. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun, Luck. And some room to roam now. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. First and goal from the 5. Luck gives to his running back, Gore. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and push it in with Gore. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Back to throw, Luck. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Andre Branch in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 28. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Drake, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
To the right side, it's Drake. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jonathan Hankins. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Now Tannehill. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Al Woods, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. A gain of 32 that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
From the red zone now, Locke. Throw left side complete. That's Doyle. A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
On the draw, Luck gives to Gore. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Five yards to go for the offense. 1st down and goal from that 5-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Gore again here on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on second down, this is Gore. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
The offense on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is third and goal. From the gun, here's Luck. And he's going to find Doyle in the end zone for a Colts score. Jack Doyle from 4 yards out. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
On second down, here's Tannehill, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this will be taken at the 13. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Play fake to Gore. It's Locke. Looking deep for Hilton. And this will be caught at the 30. Locke to Hilton on the hook up there. 52 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On the handoff, it's Gore. About 3 yards there to the 27.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Again, they run. Again, it's Gore. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They run. It's Williams. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
2nd and 10. Tannehill once more. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's Tannehill. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Tannehill to Landry. Good for a Dolphin 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That's right.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. On 1st down, Tannehill. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still second down.
To the air again, Tannehill. Over the middle, able to find Carew. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. From the red zone now, Tannehill. He dumps it off to Drake. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still second down.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Throwing again is Tannehill. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. A spin, and he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Ryan Tannehill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Now Parkey for the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Off of play action. Luck. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Here's Luck. Space to run past the 20. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts add on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Vinatieri now for the point after. And that one makes this a 19-point game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And avoids the contact by sliding. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. So second down, 3 yards to go now. Here's Tannehill. He goes underneath the Drake. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one. Right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Tannehill. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a first down throw. Tannehill. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Tannehill on first down. It's caught. Stills right side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain. 16 yards there and a first down again. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, first and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They come out here in the I. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. Toward the pylon, caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big conversion on 3rd for the Colts. 54 yards. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.